am a publisher, and one day my daughter Christina asked me to write a novel with her. Well, that day was long ago, and that little girl is now an adult. But our novels live on. The Truth Seekers Mystery Series highlights a homeschool family, the Murphy teens, in an action-adventure novel that is sure to entertain as well as teach creation truths. To get your copy, visit our website at truthseekersmysteryseries.com.
This is a production of the Ultimate Homeschool Radio Network. Welcome to the Vintage Homeschool Mom Show. Your host, Felice Gerwitz, is an author, a publisher, and your radio show host. She will encourage, educate, and inspire you with answers to your most pressing questions, from homeschool, marriage, parenting, and much more. Felice loves to equip moms to live a Christian life because every moment counts. Be sure to visit her website at mediaangels.com. And here's your host, Felice Gerwitz.
Usually I do podcasts for parents, and today I have decided that I am going to do a series of podcasts for the kids. So this is episode 408 for Vintage Homeschool Moms, and the topic today is kids choosing good behavior. So parents, if you want to gather around your kids, you can, and they can listen to this episode. I also did another episode, Kids Making Good Decisions, which is a little bit different than this one, and you can find that as well as show notes on vintagehomeschoolmoms.com, episode 408. Also, you may want to check out the Truth Seekers Mystery Series. I wrote this along with my daughter Christina some years back, and it is a fun mystery series for kids, teenagers, and so forth. You can find more information at mediaangels.com/books. Well, I love to talk to kids, and I think that kids are great. They have many good ideas. Kids are full of energy and fun. And even those of you that are quiet are amazing and have amazing things to say if someone would take the time to listen to you. I have 5 kids and 8 grandkids, and each one of them is a blessing. While we might not always agree, and yes, my kids mess up, but so have I think they're amazing people, and I really wish I could see you and tell you this while I'm looking at you. But I believe that you are an amazing person. Why do I think that? Well, if you don't believe me, you may want to think about what I said. God doesn't make junk, and you are here for a reason, so let's begin. Today, we are going to be talking about choosing good behavior. And if you have a choice of choosing good behavior, good over bad, which would you pick? You may think that's a silly question, but it's really something that I want you to think about. I want you to think about your parents. Do you know an adult in your life? Is it a mom, a dad, a grandparent, maybe your aunts or uncles? Did you know that these adults in your life were once your age? I bet you didn't think about that, or you have not thought about it often. Yes, we were all kids once. We were teenagers. We were young adults, and finally, after many years, and possibly getting in trouble ourselves, we grew up, got married, and had kids of our own. We learned from our past mistakes, and we want to pass that wisdom down to our kids. Truthfully, that is why you get in trouble. We don't want you to make the same mistakes, even if they're small mistakes, that we made. And we know that small mistakes now can turn into big mistakes later on. And that means we teach you how to make good decisions and how to choose good behavior. It's not easy to do what's right all the time because no one's perfect, right? Well, that may be true, but we can make our lives a whole lot easier if we take charge of our own behavior. Since I can't see you, I don't know if you're listening, but I'm going to challenge you. If you want a happier life, please take the time to listen. As I talk, I'm going to ask you some questions, and you can stop this recording and answer them before you hear my remarks. I like kids who think for themselves. Do you think? Of course you do. But do you think before you speak or act? Sometimes you do, and sometimes you don't. See, the problem is when you act badly, you say or do the wrong thing, sometimes you get in trouble, and sometimes you don't. So you might be confused. Let's talk about what type of behavior gets you in trouble. See if you agree with me. The first is being disrespectful. You can be disrespectful to your parents or adults. What's being disrespectful? Let's see. Arguing, yelling, and saying, "No, I didn't do it," when your parents clearly see that you did. Another could be hitting others in your family. Many kids actually think this is fun. Another could be breaking a rule. For example, no snacks before dinner. Another could be forgetting to do a chore or something your parents asked you to do. And another could be, for homeschoolers especially, losing a book or not completing your schoolwork. Now, you might have more things that you can add to that list about ways that you've gotten in trouble, but I want to look at all of those things I just talked about and see what won't get you in trouble. The first would be being respectful to your parents. If you mess up, ask for forgiveness or say you're sorry and take responsibility for your actions. That won't get you in trouble. The second is keeping your hands, your feet, general body parts to yourself. The third is following the rules. The fourth is remembering to do your chores or follow through with what your parents asked you to do. And the fifth is keeping your books together and finishing your schoolwork. Wow, that was easy. Just be respectful. Keep your hands to yourself, follow the rules, do your chores, finish your schoolwork. Easy, right? What am I missing? How many of you think you can do this? Why? Why not? Let's think about this. Will life be easier and happier if you do what's right? Of course. But how hard is that? Sometimes we need to pray and ask God for help. But one thing I want you to think about is choosing good behavior is a choice. You are not a puppet. Do you know what a puppet is? A puppet is controlled by someone else. The puppet can't think for itself or do something it wants to do on its own. Maybe you've never seen a puppet, but you know what I'm talking about. A puppet has no free will. You, on the other hand, have free will. God gave you this free will. You can make decisions, and you have a choice. You can decide to be the kind of person you want to be, right? Do you agree? If you don't agree, why not? Do you want to know what I think? I think there are many reasons why kids get in trouble. I think sometimes kids are just lazy. Hey, it's easier not to obey, you think. It really isn't. The second is kids react out of anger or because they're upset. Somebody hits you, you're going to hit them back. If someone says something mean to you, you're going to say it back. The third is kids don't think about the consequences. If I do something wrong, what is going to happen? We don't think about that first. And the fourth is kids are gamblers. What does that mean? A gambler takes chances. You know what you're doing, if it's right or wrong, right? And you're hoping that you're not going to get caught. Or if you do get caught, you hope the punishment won't be bad. But you're really hoping for no punishment at all. And the last is sometimes you just forget. You forget what you're supposed to do. And why is that? Because some kids just don't care. Again, did I forget something? Is there another reason I didn't list of why you get in trouble? I think some kids believe that their parents are unreasonable. But like I said earlier, your parents were your age once. They know what it was like to be younger and get in trouble. I think the real reason most of us get into trouble is that we don't think about what's going to happen afterwards. This is called cause and effect. If I drop a glass on a hard surface like concrete, let's say, what's going to happen? Now, I'm not there to hear you, but I hope you said it's going to break. We know that glass shatters. Yes, we know that not all glass shatters, but most glass does. Have you ever dropped a glass? Have you ever spilled water or milk or juice? Sure, everyone has accidents. The cause of the incident, in this case, glass breaking, was done on purpose, right? I dropped the glass on concrete. The effect of my dropping the glass is it breaks. But what about an accident? This is different, right? Well, if we didn't mean to drop the glass and it still broke, it's the same thing. But maybe we're not at fault. So the big difference is motivation, or why we did it. Was it an accident or did we really mean to do it? So let's break this down. Things happen because we caused them, either on purpose or by accident. The second is we can sometimes control our actions or words, and sometimes it's truly an accident. The third is if we can control our words or actions, that means we're in charge, right? And the fourth is if we are in charge and we are in control and we do have free will, we can choose right or wrong, right? Because, hey, we're not a puppet. And the fifth is, if we have a choice, what will we do? So there you have it. Choosing good behavior is up to you. You are not a puppet. You can make your own decisions and choices. And I, for one, hope you decide today, right now, to make good choices. Again, some of you may need to pray. We all need to pray. So I guess I should rephrase that and say, all of us need to pray. Think about what will happen if you make a good choice and what will happen if you make a bad choice. The decision is up to you. One last thing to think about. Do you want to be around people who always get in trouble? Do you want to listen to people who do the wrong thing on purpose or just because they think it's fun to have everyone yelling or arguing? Some people actually like to cause trouble. If you would not follow someone like that, then you should be the person God created you to be, and that means making choices that are wise. One more thing. I have more shows planned like this just for you, so stay tuned. You can find the show notes for today's episode at vintagehomeschoolmoms.com. Look for episode 408.
Thanks for tuning in to the Vintage Homeschool Mom Show. Visit Felice at MediaAngels.com and thevintagehomeschoolmoms.com. Vintage Homeschool Moms is a production of the Ultimate Homeschool Radio Network.